Hi, this is Hind with Remax Estate Properties here in Los Angeles, and today I come to you live from Chez Moi. So welcome to La Maison de Hind. I hope you had a great week, and I wanted to make a video to share with you some valuable information that came straight from the agents that are active in the field, and there is value in that because you get to understand how the market or the real estate market is doing here in Los Angeles. And today's meeting was a company-wide meeting, meaning that we had agents from the west side area and we had agents from the South Bay area, and they all shared what's going on with their local market. And that's really powerful because in my company we have about 15 offices and over 650 agents, and all the information that comes and we share it with each other really gives us a different insight about what's going on in different markets and what conversations buyers and sellers are having. And there is power in that, and there is actually value in that that you will not find somewhere else. So I report to you live from Chez Moi, but I'm reporting the information that came directly from the field. So one of the things that we realized is that the COVID had affected real estate, but in a different way. Most of the agents in my office have been working for a long time, and they've seen different markets and how real estate was responding. But COVID was really new to everybody. How the market in Los Angeles in general responded to COVID was different than we all expected. The price is still strong. There's always a shortage in inventory. The price is still strong, so it was really no drop down in prices. And there is also just in California, 53% of homeowners own more than 50% in their equity. So there is, a strong reasons for sellers to keep their homes. Nobody's walking away from their home because they couldn't afford their mortgage. And with COVID, it really hasn't changed much for a lot of families. So one of the things that also we've noticed is that COVID had affected added to the shortage of inventory that we have here in Los Angeles. It's now 10% down than it was last year, same time last year, which actually made it very hard for buyers to find properties, but also made it the best time for a seller to sell, because sellers right now who are currently in the market and are showing their homes, they are taking advantage of the shortage of inventory and less competition. And also at the same time, buyers who are actively buying have a good reason to buy, and they are motivated, and they also are taking advantage of the low rates. So 19% of loan applications went up this year compared to the few months before, and it's just an explanation of how, or a confirmation of how, the shortage in inventory and the huge demand is really making it a great market for sellers to sell. Also, we've noticed that the buyers and the sellers who are active in the market right now have certain needs that had to do, at the core of those needs, it had to do with the COVID and having to work from home. A lot of families are realizing that either they outgrow the space where they are, or they don't feel, home is actually a feeling. They don't feel at home, and they're ready to move to different areas and start somewhere else, or maybe remodel, or maybe, it's too much for them to keep up with, so they are looking to downsize. One of the stories that I thought was very insightful to share with you was an elderly couple who sold their home last year to downsize, which is a very common thing for a lot of sellers, and they wanted to just get a small condo and just downsizing their home. But with the COVID and the risk of being outside in common areas, the risk of using elevators, especially if they're elderly, had really put another stress on them. And now they're thinking of selling their condo and maybe moving to different states or different areas where they can buy a home with some outdoor area without risking sharing common areas with other people. So COVID had really brought different needs and had brought different challenges for buyers and sellers, and also not having open houses, public open houses, and all the restriction that we as agents who are listing homes have to follow and make sure that we are showing the home but also keeping our clients safe, had added more to how this real estate is how the market is working and how these transactions are being done. And I find it fascinating that the COVID really made us change our behavior and also change our mindsets, and also challenged us to be more creative, to be more cautious, and to also really, for buyers and sellers, it had been a way of having conversation that people really didn't have before, and evaluating if their current home is compatible with their current needs, or if it's time to sell and move away, or if it's time to actually buy and add, different spaces, maybe for a gym or an office, or, areas for homeschooling the kids. So it's just how real estate is actually reacting to COVID is different than what we expected. There's no crash, there is no recession, and the real estate is one of the strongest markets right now, because with everything going on with the stock market and the uncertainty and how it crashed and it's coming back, it really made a lot of actually investors rethink of how they can invest their money, and a lot of people are taking their money out of stock markets and putting it in real estate. And it's just been it had really a great impact on real estate in general. Real estate, especially here in Los Angeles, is still strong, it's still going. And if you are planning to sell your home, these are some great times, because you have less competition and you have buyers who are well qualified, and buyers who are looking for homes and have a serious need for buying your home. So I hope this was helpful in some way or shape to answer some of your questions. But if you have any scenario, or if you have any question, please feel free to call me, text me, email me, and connect me with a friend or a neighbor. I'm always here as your source of real estate information, and I bring data to you and information to you straight from agents on the field and from conversations that it's done in our platform as realtors. And that's a lot of value there, and I will really love to hear from you. And if you have any information or any questions, please feel free to contact me.